What is going wrong at Notts County Football Club? Should Stuart Maynard be sacked? And is the playoffs and promotion over for Notts County this season? They've been a terrible run, one win in their last six, which is a terrible one if you're chasing automatic promotion, which is the definitive goal for Notts County. Playoffs it won't do for the money that they've spent on that squad. Who's underachieving? What's going wrong? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like the video if you do go on to do so, and subscribe if you're new. All the support is massively appreciated. I think there might be a few new ones. And shout out to Hartley Hare, because he's a Notts County fan on the channel, and here's a video for you, Hartley. Now, I do some shouty videos to annoy opposition fans, but everything I say in this video is genuine. Notts County, they bore me. You know, I had a choice to watch Wimbledon, Notts County or Walsall v Grimsby. I knew which one we were picking straight away, you know, if it all worked out. And it was going to be Walsall, because Notts County are so boring. Every time I watched them and I thought, I don't want to watch anymore, because I hate that type of football. And that's my opinion, and you might love that type of football, but to me it's just so boring, pedestrian. It's not how football should be played. Football should be played with intensity and tempo. And look, if it gets results, it gets results, but it ain't. And when it ain't getting results, and there's not a good feel-good factor around the place, because at the end of the day, Luke Williams were quite similar, but there were a good feel-good factor around Notts County. It brought a good atmosphere, and everyone were together. But at the minute, Notts County, particularly under Luke Williams, I thought that they are that. They're united, they're together, they have a good identity, and they know what they're getting. And they're a club that is run properly and are doing things right. Whereas right now, it happens immediately after Luke Williams got for his offer to Swansea. That went well, and this is the problem. That's where it all started, because Notts County are a selling club, and you can sell and you can sell, but what are you bringing in? And they replaced Luke Williams with Stuart Maynard, and he's got all the personality of a pillow. You know, he makes you go to sleep. So at the end of the day, that's not working. And you can look at the stats, and you can look at the figures, and you can say they're doing well. They've got the most missed chances in the league. They've got the most possession in the league. They've got the second most shots in the league, the most shots on target in the league, the most possession in the league. That's no surprise. The second top goal scorers in the league. They've got the fifth best defence as well, so it's not all about their attacking numbers with only 33 goals conceded. It is only because last season they conceded 86 goals. But that was when Maynard came in, they still had conceded 52 goals, which is still a lot of goals to be conceded in the first half of the year. But then he went and conceded 34. They only won 5, they drew 3, and they lost 11 games in his games from the 18th of January when he took over until the end of May, when obviously the season ended. They only picked up 18 points. They finished 14th. When he took over, they were 6th in the league, and there were 7 points away from 3rd. Whereas when they finished the season, like I said, 14th, and they were 10 points off 6th, the place where he was when he took over. Massive regression, and you're giving the benefit of the doubt because you think, was it coming? And obviously they had a good start to the season, and I give them credit because they have had injuries. David McGoldrick has been injured for this one defeat in 6, this poor run, and he's obviously a huge miss, but he's a huge miss because he can bail them out. He can score a goal out of nothing. You know, I think back to Swindon. You know, I watched them play Swindon very early on in the season in August, and they were really poor. They didn't really offer much, Notts County. But out of nowhere, McGoldrick goes and scores 2 out of the world finishes at a Premier League level, and they've won it 2-1. And he's done that throughout the season. He did it in February. That chip, you know, what a goal. He can score goals out of nothing, and that can bail out a team that isn't doing it. And as a Bradford City fan, I know, because 2022-23 was a playoff season with Mark Hughes, and I think that's where Maynard's heading. And you had Andy Cook bailing us out, scoring worldies, just popping up with a goal, being a magnet to the ball. Without Andy Cook, we wouldn't have got anywhere near. That individual talent got us in there. But there was a lot of talent in the squad. You know, like Notts County have. They have so many good players, even with Jody Jones and McGoldrick being injured, even with Dan Crowley leaving in January. They've still got a very, very good squad that is being underused at this moment in time. And that's what Mark Hughes did. We played this boring, tippy-tappy, pedestrian football that was uninspiring. And the man was uninspiring. in his interviews with the fans, with how if he's like that with the fans, he's going to be like that with the players. And are you going to listen to that man? Yes. Are you going to play for that man? Yes. But are you going to play for Mark Hughes and a Stuart Maynard as much as you're going to play for Graham Alexander? And it's a small percent, but if you're not at that percent, there's a tiny little drop off. And like I said, they're a selling club. And with a selling club, there's egos. And if you're using a football club as a stepping stone, then you're not going to be putting it in as much. Because you think, I can strut around, I can pass ball backwards and sideways. Notts County, no surprise, they've passed the ball backwards and sideways the most than any other team in the league. And MK Dons are obviously second as well. It's appalling. And it's a lack of effort, and there's a lack of intensity to that. And the fans can't get behind it. And we got outplayed at Meadow Lane, and we did the year before, and we got outplayed at Valley Parade as well, which is great when that's happening. But even when they scored 3 goals in like 5 minutes and the 3-0 up, the fans, they weren't really behind them. I was quite underwhelmed with the atmosphere. When they came to Valley Parade, they were fantastic. Really loud, really good atmosphere, and that's what I'd expect. But if they're not really getting that effort, that intensity, like Bradford City are at the minute, we've got a team of characters, we've got a team who are playing intense, we've got a team that are giving everything, they wear the heart on the sleeve, and that's because they're embedded to the club at the minute, and they've got everyone off the same hymn sheet. When you've got your CEO who's leaving to go to Swansea, you've got your manager leaving to go to Swansea, your best player last season leaving to go to Millwall, big players, big people who should be running the football club leaving, assistant manager, joint manager, his ego got in the way. Very, very selfish man from what I've heard. He always spoke in eyes, not we's. He left because he wanted the credit of the structure of the team, the way the team are playing. He wanted to take all the credit, so he wants to be a manager, which obviously has got in the way between him and Stuart Maynard. And it just doesn't look like a team and a club that's united. And if you're not united, and everyone's in it for themselves, and everyone's in it because they want to be developed to then go up to the next level, and when they get an opportunity to go the jump, like I'm seeing throughout Notts County at the minute, it's not a team that I'd like to be supporting at the minute, because you can't get behind that as a supporter. And I feel for you if that's the sort of club that you have. It can be reactionary, and I feel like I'm seeing reactionary comments from Notts County fans on social media when they're calling for Maynard Z, and they're not happy about the football club. When I'm seeing it, I'm thinking, well, you are doing well. It is a bit of a blip. You've had a lot of key injuries, but do I like to watch Notts County when I can watch them and when they're available to watch, or when they play Bradford City? I don't. I hate that style of football, and I've had to watch it 46 times in a season under Mark Hughes, and quite a bit in between that before he got sacked as well. It's uninspiring, and I want to be inspired. And if you're going to be playing backwards and sideways, and there's not going to be an intensity to your game, and the players really want it, I can't get behind that. In the last 6 games, where they have only picked up that one win, which were against Tranmere, which were the last game of Nigel Adkins, a very poor Tranmere side, and Notts County fans even said they probably deserved more from that game, or at least something from that game. In those last 6, they've conceded 9 goals in 6, which isn't healthy that for a team that's chasing promotion. Conceding to Fleetwood, conceding to Tranmere. They've only had 20 shots on goal. Two or three of those games, they've only had 1 shot on goal. That is appalling, and that's where the frustration is. Will Stuart Maynard be the man to get Notts County out of League 2? I don't think he will. They can turn it around, definitely, but I just don't see him as a good manager. I think he's not getting the best out of his squad, and I think frailties are creeping in. I think there can be an easy team to play against, and ultimately, is the club in a good atmosphere? Is it in a good state at the minute? I don't think it is. I don't think everyone's singing off the same hymn sheet, and I think that comes from the manager to motivate everyone around him, because at the end of the day, if he had a chance to jump, he'd jump, like he did at Wealdstone. These managers don't want to build a project, they just want to get themselves into a better opportunity themselves. And but I have to say, credit to the club in some ways. The CEOs and owners, apart from the one who obviously left himself, because they did keep him in the job. They give him a year and 2 months, and probably will give him to the end of the season. I don't think you can't sack him now. You know, he can't go now. He's had the pre-season. He's had he's had all this season playing this style of play. If you bring in another manager, it's going to be the same. Can they motivate them more? That's what you'd look for. So I don't think they're going to go up this season. If he stays on next season, do I think they'll go up? Probably not. But eventually, if they keep having squads like this, they're going to have to get up. And like I say, injuries could come back, and individual players might just get them over the line. But it's definitely going to be an interesting end to the season. There's loads of teams in there. No one's out of it yet. Form can quickly change. We saw with Doncaster last season win that territory that now where they picked up loads of wins and got in the playoffs. Anyone can go and win every game. Everyone's playing each other. It's going to be a fascinating end. I can't wait for the end, even though we have to say right in the thick of it. But this is what you want. This is what you want. You want to go to these big away games and these big home games where you need to win, and there's promotion on the line. There's 6 teams chasing it. So good luck to Notts County, because they are a good club and they've got a good fan base, and I do quite like them. But I don't like the style of play. I'm uninspired by your manager, and I think you've got fantastic individual players who can get you over the line, and you've got to hope that they will, because I think if they went up, they would stay up. They'd have enough to do it. Because they've got the financial backing, I believe, from what I can see, and with the players that they can bring into the club, maybe because of the style of play, that they would then stay up, and they'll probably be more suited to a higher level. But in League 2, I don't think this is the way to get out of it. Definitely let me know your thoughts, even if you're a Bradford City fan, because we have experienced it. And if you are, thank you very much for watching, because it shows how dedicated to me you are. If you're a new fan, if you're a Notts County fan who's just clicked on, do let me know your thoughts, because you know your club more than me, even though I profess to know more than you in this 12, 13, 14 minute video. So thanks for clicking and watching, and do let me know your thoughts on your club as well. And if you enjoyed it, do leave a subscribe. It is massively appreciated. On the road to 900 subscribers. All the support is massively appreciated. Have a good one.